And how's everybody doing? I'm Jay Elsen, and this is Coyote Corner. Well, coming up, we'll sit down for our weekly conversation with USD men's basketball coach Craig Smith, and we'll also take a look at just how things have shaped up for the final weekend of the regular season. But first, we turn our attention to the USD women, who carried a little extra incentive into last week's road trip. With a 2-game lead on the field, 2 wins would clinch at least a share of the Summit League's regular season title and the top seed for the conference tournament. The first stop for Amy Williams and the Coyotes was Magnus Arena in Denver on Wednesday night. Pioneers hoping to play spoiler, and they got off to a pretty good start. Jordan Johnston pops the 3. Denver opened the game on an 8-3 run. Coyotes pumped the brakes on that real quick. Rachel Contreras, too easy. That cut the deficit to 1. Couple possessions later, Kelly Stewart looking inside for Bridget Arns. The Coyotes score 14 straight to open up a 9-point lead. Denver hung tough throughout the first half, though. Alicia Espinoza scores 2 of her career-high 17. Coyotes led by just 2 at the break. Pioneers still lurking early in the second. Morgan Van Riper Rose gets the runner. She had 10, 40-35 USD. But Contreras made sure that would be as close as they would get. Ensuing possession, she connects for one of her 4 threes on the night. Contreras led all scorers with 22. Margaret McLeod had gone 5 games without reaching double figures. That streak's history. The junior goes for 16 on 7 of 8 shooting. Coyotes up 9 when Nicole Seekamp delivers the dagger. Tough finish. Seekamp knocks 12 points and 8 assists. Coyotes win their 6th straight and complete the season sweep of Denver, 79-68. USD shot 57% and scored 51 points in the second half. A lot of the damage was done inside, where the Coyotes outscored the Pioneers 44-24. That victory, along with Western Illinois' loss to Oral Roberts, meant the Coyotes could clinch the Summit League title outright with a win Saturday at South Dakota State. Good news for USD coming in as Taya Hebiller returned to the lineup. Picking up early first half, Bridget Arns with some nice work inside. And the foul, Arns would score 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting. Couple trips later, Kelly Stewart connects on the corner 3, and the Yotes are up a pair. USD went cold from there, though, and the Jacks took advantage. Megan Witashik, who missed the first game against USD, making her presence known with a nice take inside. Big first half for Macy Miller as well. 10 points, 9 rebounds for the freshman. Jacks outscored the Yotes 15-7 over the final 8:26 and took a 34-26 lead into the half. State was up as many as 13 in the second, but the Coyotes get it going with about 10 minutes left. Nicole Seekamp with the and one. The 3-point play makes it 56-48. Ensuing Jack's possession, Miller gets the steal. Seekamp finds Margaret McLeod for the lay-in. She had 10. More good D from the Yotes here. Seekamp intercepts the pass and coasts in for another easy 2. Coyotes tally 7 points in 51 seconds to cut the deficit to 4. After a timeout, though, the Jacks take the momentum right back with Toshik leading the way again. Bump and the bucket. She scored a team-high 18. Miller took it from there. She put up 3 straight field goals to push the lead back to double digits. Miller recorded her first career double-double with 16 points and 10 boards. And South Dakota State beats USD for the first time in 3 tries, 77-67. The difference in this one came on the glass and at the free throw line. Jackrabbits turned 16 offensive rebounds into 15 second chance points. They also converted 10 more free throws. As for Taya Hebiller, she was pretty good in her return. 5 points, 5 rebounds in 16 minutes for USD. The loss snapped the Coyotes' 6-game winning streak and dropped them to 21-6 on the season and 11-3 in the Summit League.
We have to just use this game and learn from it and learn by the mistakes we made tonight and push forward and just worry about the next game, one game at a time. So we're just got to go into the next game on Thursday and not let what happened tonight happen then.
Certainly a disappointing way to end the weekend, but the Coyotes still control their own destiny heading into the final weekend of the regular season. We'll get Amy Williams' thoughts on that right after this.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
The race for the Summit League title is going to come down to the final weekend of the regular season. And for more on that, we bring in the head coach of the Coyote women, Amy Williams. Amy, I'm sure it's a little disappointing knowing that you weren't able to clinch things up this past weekend, but at the same time, knowing that you're coming into this final weekend still in full control of how you finish up, it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with the parity in our league this year, I mean, there was really never any doubt that it was probably going to come down to the crunch time and down to this last weekend. And we're just happy to be in a position where we still control our own destiny. We don't have to count on other people to lose or win or whatever for us. If we just take care of business at home in the Dome, then we'll like where we finish.
And that's obviously something that you guys have done a very good job of this year, 12-0 at home coming into the year. Let's look, though, at how you got to this point. And your week started in Denver on Wednesday night. Things pretty tight throughout that first half, just 28-26 at the half, but another big second half, 51 points.
Yeah, I mean, I was really proud of the focus our kids had coming out in that second half. And obviously we scored a lot of points in the second half and came out and just played a lot better offensively. But defensively, I thought they really locked in and committed to the things we needed to do. We did a much better job of defending Denver at that three-point line in the second half, and it just kind of sparked us offensively.
Offensively, Rochelle Contreras, as she's done so often this year, leads you 22 points for her. Another game with 4 3-pointers. It's just her game is so valuable to you when she's on fire the way she was there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great performance. I thought all of our seniors really played great and sparked us in different ways. And Rachel for sure with some huge kind of dagger threes, and Nicole just distributing the ball, finding ways to score it. And Lisa Loeffler getting herself offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds and being solid. But I really feel like there was the play inside that just was the difference in this ball game. And Margaret McLeod was spectacular, 7 for 8 from the floor, and just had a great presence in the paint. And Kate Liveringhouse came in and made a couple of huge buckets there down the stretch and was 4 for 5, I think. And just very efficient play from our post players inside.
With your win and Western Illinois' loss to Oral Roberts, you had a chance to clinch the regular season title outright Saturday at South Dakota State. It's been a while since you've won in Brookings, as I'm sure plenty of people have pointed out to you, but neither team in this game shot it particularly well, but the Jacks, a couple of things that they were able to do was get to the free throw line and control the glass. That's really where the difference lies in this game.
Right. I think that was the biggest difference. You have a game where neither team is shooting percentage-wise particularly great, but they just made it their mission to attack the boards. They had 16 offensive rebounds and 15 second chance points or something that compared to our 3, and that was really for us the most disappointing part of the aspect of the game, and what we felt like was the big difference. Some
good news that did come out of this for you was the return of Taya Heemler. Obviously, she'd missed the 3 previous games with a leg injury, but back, 5 points, 5 rebounds in 16 minutes overall. Afterward, how's she doing?
She's feeling great, and how fortunate we are to have that relationship with Sanford Orthopedics and Dr. Reeves, who did just a phenomenal job working to try to get Taya back. And then Taya is just a mini monster. She just has kind of a mentality. She wants to get back out there as soon as she can, and she did a great job with some rehab and putting herself in a position. She looks healthy, she looks great, and we're glad to have her back.
You return home now to close the regular season. Games against IUPUI, Western Illinois. The scenario is pretty simple for you. You win both, and you're going to be the Summit League's regular season champion and the #1 seed for the tournament. Easier said than done, though, starting with IUPUI on Thursday. This one did not go well the first time around against the Jaguars, so obviously going to want to take better care of the basketball this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, they did a great job at their place of just really pressuring up and being physical with us, and we didn't handle that very well. And they're playing great basketball, coming off a 32-point win over Oral Roberts the other day, and so they're really playing with a lot of confidence right now. It's going to be a tough ball game.
Western Illinois comes to town on Saturday. Big day offensively for you, the first time against the Leathernecks. We've seen teams can't get into shootouts with this particular team, but they're awfully dangerous when they're hitting their shots as well. Ashley Luke, we've talked at length about just how valuable she is to them, and a big part of the game plan for you defensively again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's just a load to handle and going to be tough. And we saw last year when they came to the Dome, they hit 13 threes or something like that. So they're a very dangerous team because they have so many scoring threats, and it's going to take a special effort in both of these games this week.
going to be fun. Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
All right. Well, the USD men had a chance to do something last week that no player on this year's team had ever been a part of in their time with the Coyotes. We'll explain right after this.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionato.com.
And welcome back. Well, fresh off their latest road triumphs at Omaha and Oral Roberts, the South Dakota men returned to Vermilion with plenty to play for. Not only would the Yotes be aiming to improve their stock in the Summit League, but they'd also be looking to get above 500. And believe it or not, that's something no player on this year's team had ever experienced in their time at USD. James Hunter and company could move one step closer to that feat with a win Tuesday against NAIA opponent Avila. The Eagles heavy underdogs in this one, but they gave USD some fits early on. Brandon Murillo drains the three to give Avila a 17-14 lead just over 10 minutes in. Casey Kasperbauer, though, says, "I'll see that and raise you this." The junior hits 4 consecutive trays, 12 points in a span of 1 minute, 23 seconds. Yotes up 14 by the break. And USD kept on rolling from there. Brandon Boss had a quiet first half, but he gets it going in the second. Lays it in off a nice feed from Hunter. And a couple of trips later, 12 from downtown. Boss scored 8 of his 10 points in the second half. Tyler Larson also closed strong. The Summit League's reigning co-player of the week finished with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Coyotes overcome a sloppy start and cruise to an 84-60 win. Trey Burnett was not pictured, but he notched 10 points and 11 boards for his second consecutive double-double. The stakes were raised Saturday afternoon as the Coyotes returned to Summit League play against IUPUI. USD shot just 22% in the first half of their last meeting with the Jags. No such problem on Saturday. They came out red hot. Yotes scored the first 7 points, started 6 for 6 from the floor, including 3 threes, to build an early 9-point lead. It took a while for IUPUI to get things going, but once they did, they were even better. Mason Archie on the drive, and it's Marcellus Barksdale for 3. Jags shot 65% in the first half, but still trailed by 3 at the break. More great shooting to start the second. Tyler Larson, third 3 of the day. He had a team-high 21 to go along with 13 rebounds. Yotes up 56-48. Jags answer again. Archie caps a quick 5-0 run. He had 18, and IUPUI is back within 3. The turning point came less than a minute later. Trey Norris with the steal and the score, plus the intentional foul. USD gets it back after Norris hits the 2 free throws, and he still wasn't done. How about the hat trick? Norris scores 7 points on 1 possession to stretch the lead to 10, and the Coyotes wouldn't look back. USD goes on to win it by 15, 77-62. The Coyotes, who've now won a season-high 4 straight games, improved to 15-14 on the year and 8-6 in the Summit League. Quite the turnaround for a team that started the season with 5 straight losses.
We had a chip on our shoulder. They, like you said, they bullied us at their house. So we were like, we're not going to let it happen. And, you know, we got a lot of honor and pride in not letting any team sweep us. So they got us the first time. Okay, y'all got it. We're going to get y'all this time.
Congratulations goes out to Tyler Larson, whose performance on Saturday was enough to earn him his second consecutive Summit League Player of the Week award. Larson recorded his league-leading 10th double-double against IUPUI. The senior from Las Vegas is averaging 18 points and 8 rebounds during the Coyotes' current 4-game winning streak. Larson and the Coyotes have already exceeded expectations this season, but the work isn't done yet. We'll talk about that and more with head coach Craig Smith next.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionato.com.
The USD men, which started the season 0-5, now above 500 for the first time this season. Head coach of the surging Coyotes, Craig Smith, joins us now. And Craig, it's been a long road, literally, to get back to this point for your team. I know the journey is far from complete, but how much appreciation do you have to where you guys have been able to get at this point in the season?
I'm a history major, so you always look back to where you were, where you are, and where you're going. Mm-hmm. And those were some long days when we were 0-5, but you just got to keep it in perspective too. It's a long, long season, and all you can worry about is getting better every day. And I know it's cliche-ish, but it's so true, especially when you're a new coach with a brand new team.
Let's take a look at how you got over the hump. It started with a rare February non-conference game against an NAI opponent in Avila on Tuesday night. And I know you got the question several times leading up to this game, why them and why now?
You know what? We wanted to get the full complement of games. With our MTE, we had 4 games that were exempt, so that allowed us to play 31 games. Basically, every team in our league plays 2 non-Division I teams, whether NAI or Division II, and we had a hard time getting the game early in November and December because we were so jammed up. Sure. And then when you get to this point of the year, we didn't want to take a full week off, play 3 games, then have another full week off before the conference tournament. So if we had some momentum, we wanted to keep it, and if we were struggling a little bit, it was a great opportunity if we played well to get back on track. I'm really happy we scheduled it. I thought we played pretty well with the exception of about a 5-minute stretch, and saw some good things out of a lot of different people.
Back to business in the Summit League on Saturday afternoon then for you against IUPUI, and it wasn't going to take much in this one for the offense to be better, but it certainly was.
Yeah, there was, rewatching the video from last time we played them switching 1 through 4 and sometimes 1 through 5 really bothered us at their place, plus the fact that we couldn't catch the ball or pass the ball. But, we only had 7 turnovers on the game, forced them into 17, and we had 21 more shot attempts with us, earning 17 offensive rebounds. And our guys played with force. I thought we were really aggressive and really shared the basketball, and that was the difference in the game. It was a close game throughout. Obviously, we ended up winning by 15, but Tyler had 6 rebounds in the last 4 minutes and I believe 26 seconds. Just played with great energy, got it going, but I thought our whole team did. We had great balance, 4 guys in double digits. Our guys executed a 7-point play perfectly, Trey Norris. It was amazing. And but then we had one little stretch there too where Tyler hit back-to-back threes, where Casey Kasperbauer hit him off of what we call sprint to slip, and that's what really allowed us to get the separation in the second half.
Another guy that's been playing well of late is Trey Burnett, and he did it again. He's been a huge key of this, part of this resurgence for you here over the last couple of weeks.
He's really picked it up. He's a junior college transfer, great kid. It's not a coincidence. Once he started playing better, it's, I think, taken a lot of pressure off Brandon Boss and Tyler Larson and Casey, and it's just given us a 4th scoring option.
Well, with the win, you moved 8-6 in conference play. You're going to be no worse than the 5 seed, 3 through 5, somewhere in there. Exactly where you're going to end up, of course, depends on what happens this week. Up first, Denver on Wednesday night. You beat the Pioneers 74-69 the first time around. Needed a big second half run to do it. And obviously, this team, they play with a very specific pace, and you've got to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah, it's like going to the dentist and getting a root canal. But they're good. They will expose you for what you are in the snap of a finger. I mean, so you got to be incredibly disciplined. We got to be really on it in terms of our game plan. And then they play a matchup zone for 40 minutes, on most nights. And so we got to be on the same page, really be disciplined offensively to have a chance to win.
Can't ask for a much bigger game to close the regular season. Our rival South Dakota State comes to town on Saturday. Obviously, you're playing for plenty yourselves, but you could be a bit of a spoiler here as the Jacks continue to fight for that number 1 spot.
North Dakota State and South Dakota State obviously tied for first. They both have 1 game left. And South Dakota State started the league 0-2. And have only lost 1 since. So they're 12-1 in their last 13, and they're awfully good. They can score it in any different way. Every time you look at a box score, you talk about balanced scoring. It's like the starting 5 are all in double digits, it seems, on a nightly basis, and they're very underrated defensively. So, we have them at home, and hopefully we can go into that game on a nice winning streak, and we'll just see what we can do.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, well, there's plenty at stake, as Craig said, for both Coyote Hoops teams this weekend. We'll set the stage and share some of the postseason implications when we come back.
Coyote Corner on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
The USD women are still in the driver's seat as we head into this final week of the regular season. With 2 games to play, the Coyotes are clinging to a 1-game lead over South Dakota State, but a big challenge awaits as they are set to host the other half of the top 4 at the Dakota Dome. With that in mind, let's take a look at the Summit scenarios. If USD wins both against IUPUI and Western Illinois, they will clinch the outright Summit League regular season championship and the number 1 seed for the conference tournament. USD can also clinch the title with 1 win and an SDSU loss. However, the wild card is that the Coyotes do not own any of the tiebreakers, so the only way for them to earn the top seed in Sioux Falls is to clinch the regular season crown outright. If they don't do that, there's a chance USD could end up as low as the number 3 seed. So needless to say, these stakes are pretty high. Moving to the men's side now, on the strength of its 3rd straight conference win, USD is pulled into a 3-way tie for 3rd. The Coyotes, along with Fort Wayne and Oral Roberts, are all 8-6. That leaves South Dakota State and North Dakota State to settle the top 2 spots for the Summit League tournament. Here's what we know heading into the final weekend of this regular season. The Coyotes will finish as the 3, 4, or 5 seed, depending on how things play out. The only way, though, that they get that 3 spot is with 2 wins and a Fort Wayne loss. Otherwise, they'll be back in the 4-5 game for the 2nd straight year. Regardless of where they end up in the bracket, we also know that USD will open tournament play Sunday night, March 8th. Should be an awfully exciting weekend at the Dakota Dome. We certainly encourage you to get there if you can and get back here next Tuesday night as we break it all down for you on another episode of Coyote Corner. Until then, I'm Jay Elsen. Thanks for watching.